Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive. Today, we're tackling something that's absolutely fundamental to language, but we rarely stop to think about it. The sounds we make when we speak. In other words, phonetics.
That's right, phonetics. It really is fascinating. We're going to unpack how those sounds are produced, how we hear them, and, well, the incredible variations you get across languages and even accents.
You know, it is kind of wild when you think about it. We
Yeah.
effortlessly communicate every day, but how much do we actually know about the mechanics behind it?
Not much, I bet. I mean, it's like a hitting world, really. This whole intricate system that transforms thoughts into these audible expressions.
Right. So let's get into it. First things first, what exactly is phonetics?
Well, at its core, it's the study of speech sounds, how we make them, how we perceive them, and how they can vary.
So it's not just about the words themselves, but more about like breaking down language into these tiny building blocks.
You got it. It's about understanding the smallest units of sound and how they kind of come together to form words and sentences.
Okay, so let's zoom in on those sounds. How are they actually produced? What's happening in our vocal tract when we speak?
Oh, it's pretty remarkable. It starts with air, right? Airflow from the lungs.
Okay, Eric, got it.
Then you've got your vocal cords. These can vibrate or stay open depending on the sound. And then the tongue, teeth, and lips, they all jump into the action. They're like shaping that airflow, turning it into these recognizable sounds.
Wow, a lot going on in there. Now, I know linguists categorize these sounds into vowels and consonants. Can you break that down for us?
Sure. Vowels, they're produced with a pretty open vocal tract. Air flows freely, like when you say ah or ooh. You feel it, right?
Yeah, definitely more space in there.
Exactly. But consonants, they involve some kind of obstruction, like you close your lips, stopping the airflow, then release it.
Huh, yeah, totally different.
So that's the basic difference. But we can dig even deeper, into how those sounds are actually made.
Okay, let's dig. What else is there?
Well, with vowels, your tongue position and how you round your lips play a huge role. Think about E as in C. Your tongue is high and forward. Now compare that to ah in cat. Tongue's lower, more relaxed.
Oh, I never thought about it like that, but it's true. What about consonants?
So with consonants, we look at the place of articulation, meaning where the airflow is constricted, lips, teeth, back of the throat. And then there's the manner. Is the airflow completely stopped, like with a B, or just partly blocked, like F?
This is all getting pretty technical. So how do linguists actually capture and study all these intricate sounds? They must have some special tools, right?
Oh, yeah, they do. One of the most important is the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet.
The IPA.
It's pretty amazing. Think of it as like a universal code for representing sounds. Every symbol matches a specific sound, so linguists can transcribe speech really accurately no matter the language.
So it's kind of like a Rosetta Stone for like decoding human speech. So the IPA really helps you see those nuances you might miss otherwise.
For sure. Okay, now, are you ready to go a little deeper down the rabbit hole?
Always up for a challenge. Lead the way.
All right, there's this concept called voice onset time, VOT for short.
VOT. I've heard of it, but honestly, I'm a little fuzzy on the details.
Basically, it's all about the timing of your vocal cords vibrating. It helps us distinguish between sounds that are, physically produced in a similar way but sound different because of how quickly those vocal cords start buzzing.
Okay, I think I'm starting to follow. Can you give me an example?
Yeah, think about P and B again. You close your lips for both, right? But with P, there's this tiny delay before the vocal cords vibrate. It gives it that little puff of air, that aspirated sound. But B, the vocal cords start vibrating almost the instant you open your lips.
Ah, so that's what makes them sound so different. It's like a tiny little time difference, but it makes a big impact.
Right. It's all about those subtle cues our ears pick up on.
Now, this kind of leads us to accents and dialects, right? Because they're all about variations and how we pronounce things.
Yeah, exactly. Accents and dialects basically arise from, well, differences in pronunciation. Where you're from, your social groups, even the other languages you've been exposed to, they all play a role.
So when we hear, say, a Southern drawl or a Boston accent, what we're really hearing is just slight variations in how they produce those basic sounds.
Exactly. It's amazing how flexible human language is. The basic principles of phonetics are universal, but how people apply those principles, well, that's where you get this incredible diversity.
It's like everyone's playing the same instrument, but everyone's got their own unique style.
I like that analogy.
Now let's talk about something a little more high-tech, speech recognition. I mean, how does phonetics play into those systems that can, like, transcribe what we say?
Oh, phonetics is absolutely crucial for speech recognition. Those algorithms, the ones that power things like voice assistants and dictation software, they need to understand the acoustic properties of sounds and how they form words.
So they have to be able to, like, identify all those tiny pronunciation differences, like the VOT we talked about.
Exactly. They need to take those sound waves, break them down into individual sounds, and then figure out what letters or symbols those sounds correspond to.
It's mind-blowing how our understanding of these basic sounds has led to such sophisticated technology.
It really is. And it shows just how important it is to keep researching and exploring the depths of human language.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into phonetics, it really makes you think, doesn't it? Like, how does paying attention to these tiny details of sound, how we shape vowels, the variations in accents, how does that enrich our understanding of communication as a whole?
It's something to ponder, for sure. Yeah, great question. It's been a fun journey today, wouldn't you say? Hopefully, you've come away with, well, maybe a new appreciation for just how complex and fascinating human language really is.
I know I have. It makes you realize how much is going on beneath the surface of every word we speak.
It does, and how much we still have to learn, right?
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another exploration into the mysteries of language.
See you then.